Sometimes you hear a song by an artist and recognize another voice, but not think too much of it. Sometimes you'll think they're mimicking someone else. But sometimes your ears don't trick you. Sometimes you do hear that voice that you recognize. Or even that signature guitar tone. I'm actually going to kick this one off with Bryan Adams, yeah. Songs like Cuts Like a Knife and This Time, as well as a few other tracks, feature Lou Gramm from Foreigner, who did this as a friendly favor. And now listening back on those tracks, I can actually hear him a little bit more. Another artist, the Foo Fighters, with Louise Post from Veruca Salt. You can hear her voice in the second and third chorus of the song. It is a little low in the mix and not as prominent as Dave Grohl. Plus, she recorded over the phone to the studio when they were recording the song at the time. And it still adds a good layer for the hook of the song. And if you're a fan of the Red Hot Chili Peppers, check out Alanis Morissette, the song You Oughta Know. It features Flea and Dave Navarro in the song. Of course, they're not featured in the video, but you could definitely hear them. Here's one. The Wallflowers. The song 6th Avenue Heartache features Adam Duritz from Counting Crows. When I originally heard the song, I didn't pay much attention to it, but later down the road I recognized it. This one's kinda obvious. Rockwell featuring Michael Jackson and Jermaine Jackson too. With the song, I always feel like somebody's watching me. I mean, it's kind of a dead giveaway, but I've heard people say, that's not Michael Jackson, he just sounds like him. Well, no, it is fucking Michael Jackson, dude. And Rockwell's also Berry Gordy's son, which also makes him a childhood friend of the Jacksons. So, I mean, it's kind of an obvious collaboration. Here's a surprise, I stumbled upon this one. Cher, with the song If I Could Turn Back Time, features Michael Anthony from Van Halen doing backing vocals, as well as Desmond Child and other rock and roll royalty. The sound isn't very obvious or anything. It's one of those things where you're like on a road trip and you're looking at your mom's CD cases, and I was reading the booklet, I see Michael Anthony's name in there, thinking, maybe it's a different one, but finding out later it was actually the bass player for Van Halen, who has a real immaculate vocal style. I mean, it is kind of obvious when you hear Dire Straits, Money for Nothing, you hear Sting doing backup vocals, but that's one of those songs where someone goes, that's not Sting, he's just trying to sound like him. Like, Mark Knopfler would actually try to copy Sting, but okay. Alright, I'm going to delve into the heavies now. Danzig, Twist of Cain, and Possession, both songs on his self-titled debut, featured James Hetfield on backup vocals. And I think due to contract obligations, his name could not be in the booklet of the CD. But when you actually listen to these two songs, it's pretty obvious that's James Hetfield. Speaking of James Hetfield, I probably mentioned this in an earlier video, but Corrosion of Conformity, the song Man or Ash on Wise Blood, that's also him singing backup vocals. Similar situation with a contract obligation, not using the name in the booklet. Now on the topic of Corrosion of Conformity, there's a song called Stare Too Long on the album America's Volume Dealer from 2000, featuring Warren Haynes from the Allman Brothers and Government Mule on slide guitar. Black Sabbath, featuring Brian May doing a guitar solo on the song When Death Calls from the album Headless Cross from 1989, during the era they were fronted by Tony Martin on vocals. And yes, it's Brian May from Queen, who's also good friends with Tony Iommi. Anthrax, featuring Roger Daltrey on backing vocals on the song Taking the Music Back from the album We've Come For You All from 2003, during the John Bush fronted era. Speaking of Anthrax, they do a cover of Kiss's Love Her All I Can, featuring Paul Stanley and Gene Simmons doing co-lead vocals. And I'm going to close this one off with Soulfly, featuring Sean Lennon, and the song Sun Song, which appears on the album Primitive from the year 2000. And the song is written in a collaborated effort. Soulfly is known to have a lot of special guests, but this one's highly unexpected. And it's a pretty good song. It probably should have been a hit, I think. Thank you for checking out Mean Street Journal. Until next time, don't forget to subscribe, leave a thumbs up, and ring the bell. Please and thank you. Check out Mean Street Journal on YouTube, Spotify, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. TeePublic also carries Mean Street wear for offensive apparel. Check it out. See ya.